Hello, my friends. Tremain Hayhoe here. I'm here to talk to you about my COVID-19 experience. Welcome. I am back to my office. Oh my gosh, I feel so much better now that I'm back in the office. Let me tell you, it has been a wild 3 weeks or so. Judging by the title of this video, I got COVID-19, aka coronavirus, aka the virus that shall not be named. We shall not say that name. Don't even think about saying that name. How did I get it? Well, that's a great question. I went on a film shoot down in Los Angeles, beginning of January. I had to be cleared COVID negative, which I was. I went and took the COVID test, was cleared COVID negative, submitted my stuff to the production team, which, by the way, I was one of just a couple camera guys that was on the world's largest PS5 video shoot. That was a really cool shoot. Shout out to everyone that was involved there. They're really cool, really awesome, really epic, really amazing. Yeah, that's on the ZHC YouTube channel, which is one of the fastest growing YouTube channels in the world, which is crazy. That was a totally cool, totally fun experience. So people were like, oh, Tremain, you must have gotten it at that shoot when you were there. But like everyone had to be cleared, had to be COVID negative before you were on the shoot. So everyone that was there was COVID negative. Everyone that was there didn't have it, never had it, or if they had it, they'd had to have 2 negatives to even be there. So it wasn't from that shoot. I went to Tahoe the next week and pretty sure I got it in Tahoe there because I was there for a full week, all feeling fine. My friend Rich Twilling and I, shout out to Rich, what up Rich, went, and then like a couple days in, like I was feeling coughy and sneezy when I was in Tahoe. Like I thought it was really more of the altitude type thing. I thought it was like I was just feeling the altitude, so I was like coughy and congested and sneezy and stuff. And then my friend Mario came up, and shout out to Mario. What's up, Mario? And we had a great time. We went COVID bowling, social distance bowling and everything. It sounds terrible. People are like, oh, Tremain, no wonder why you got COVID. But let me explain, okay, guys. We followed rules. We wore masks everywhere I went. Like I wore a mask outside. I social distanced. I wear, I use hand sanitizer all the time. I have it here, at the office. Everywhere I go, everywhere I do. Like, I'm naturally already a germaphobe, guys. I'm already, before, I was a germaphobe before it was cool to be a germaphobe, okay? If I'm like touching someone, if I shake someone's hand, I'll slyly use hand sanitizer. Anyway, this is pre-COVID, you guys, pre-COVID. I wash my hands a bunch. I rarely ever get sick, ever, knock on wood. That being said, I'm not gonna be letting it control my life. I'm not gonna just stay indoors all the time. I'm not gonna not go to the store. If I have to go to the store, I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, there's so many people touching things. It's like, if you're gonna get it from anywhere, you're probably gonna get it from the store. And so I did go to the grocery store a couple times. We had to get groceries. We had to get some supplies for our party trip up in Club Tahoe. Man, I'm missing Club Tahoe right now. Incline Village, Tahoe is a beautiful, gorgeous, amazing place. I had a really cool, awesome time. Until hung out with Mario for about 2 nights, and then the third morning I go to make coffee for everyone as the humble, amazing, awesome person that I am. And I go to smell the coffee grinds. This is a reenactment here. And I love smelling the coffee grinds. I love being able to smell. I love the smell of coffee. I love the smell of fresh grinds. I go to smell the grinds, and I don't smell anything. And I thought it was just because I was just kind of congested, my nose is backed up, and I'm could not smell anything. And I'm like, uh-oh. Because as we all know, once you have your taste or your smell or both, people are like, oh yeah, you have COVID, you have COVID. Oh my God, you have COVID. So I went to smell beef jerky, this big bag of beef jerky. I'm like, okay, well maybe the coffee, because they were pre-ground, so they weren't super fresh grounds, but I should have been able to smell them anyway because I smelled the day before and they smelled amazing. So I'm smelling these grounds and I don't smell anything. Then I'm like, okay, beef jerky, teriyaki beef jerky, I'm going to be able to smell that, no matter what. So I'm smelling it and nothing, still nothing. And then Mario went upstairs. He was downstairs. I'm like, hey Mario, smell this. And he goes to smell it. And he's like, oh yeah, teriyaki. Oh, it smells like, wow, very strong, like teriyaki jerky. Ooh, that smells good. And then he's like, then he stopped and he's like, wait, why? He's like, wait, why did you just make me smell beef jerky, dude? And I'm like, because I can't smell anything. I can't smell it. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, and I'm like, how are you feeling, dude? And he's like, oh, I feel fine. You know, he already has like kind of sniffly stuff. And then I'm like, well, you know, do you have any breathing problems ever? He's like, oh yeah, I might have sleep apnea. I might have allergies. I might have pre-asthma things, but I don't fully have asthma. And I'm like, just go home, dude. Just go. Just leave. I'm sorry, man. So it sucked because Mario left, and I didn't want to get him sick and didn't want that whole trip to get cut short, which it was. And we were going to film stuff that day. We were going to go out, you know, two more nights and have a good time. But instead, we didn't. But Rich was still there because, you know, he didn't have his own car. We were like riding together. We still had 2 nights. Rich was still asleep. This is like 2 p.m., guys, by the way. So I was thinking, okay, well, Rich is super tired. Another symptom is, you know, people are super tired all the time. Rich had already been super tired all the time before that. He was already kind of coughy, sneezy and stuff before. Nothing crazy, but I was actually coughing and sneezy a bunch the first couple days of being up in Tahoe. So it's like maybe I got it in LA, or maybe I got it from the trip from LA. I could have gotten it at like the gas station or something. I don't know. Because everyone else that I've come in contact with, other than Rucka Ali, sorry, Rucka. So Rucka and Ali and I hung out. But I hung out with some people the next day, and none of them got anything. But I guess Rucka, 3 weeks after I got it, said, hey, did you get COVID? I'm like, yes, I am positive. But it was already way after, so I thought he got it. I think he got it separately somewhere else. Anyway, Twilling tested negative. Twilling didn't have it. He doesn't have it. Luckily, thank God, my family members that I've come in contact with don't have it, didn't have it. They both have my parents have the vaccine, thank God. And so, yeah, so I've been good. And it's been about 24 days since I was experiencing symptoms. CDC, just so you guys know, just so you learn, I learned a whole bunch. Next week, my smell came back and everything. I want to get another test, see if I'm still positive. Sure enough, I'm still positive. But then I learned, once you get tested positive, you will be tested positive for up to 3 months. So according to CDC website and guidelines, again, don't just take my word for it. Check the CDC website, as probably YouTube already put a link there before without even having to do anything. And again, like, everything changes by the day, so maybe the rules have changed, whatever since. But so as far as this filming of today, it's 10 days after you've gotten symptoms of the virus that you are shedding it or spreading it. So after 10 days, you're good. I give myself a little bit more time. I give myself over double the amount of time in order to be better and fine. Well, the first couple days, like after I kind of got it, I wouldn't say it's really serious. It was like having a cold or having a flu. I've never really had the flu ever, I don't think. But I've had colds in my day. But I typically get sick, like a cold or something, once every 3-4 years. Typically when I do get sick, it's like a bad couple days and then I'm fine, right? So that's kind of what it was. So I was coughy, sneezy a lot, really tired all the time. Ended up watching a lot of Survivor. I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this, but I'm actually kind of proud to admit this too. I watched over 20 seasons of Survivor. 20 seasons of Survivor, okay? I would go through typically roughly a season a day. Yeah, it was a serious addiction. Was a serious addiction. I'm not still watching it anymore. No, I freaking love that show, by the way. That's for another video, for another time. But thank God for Survivor. I watched that show when I was like 13 or 14. I watched the first season when it first came out, but now they have 40 seasons. So I ended up watching 20 of the seasons, and they are epic. They're so good. Some seasons are better than others, but overall, it's quality content. Anyway, where was I going with that? So yeah, I stayed in my room and I watched a lot of TV. I took NyQuil a bunch. I took vitamins and everything. Drank a lot of water. I had soup. Luckily, I didn't lose my taste. Okay, so I lost my sense of smell, but I did not lose my taste. It's weird. Okay, it's so weird, especially for me. Like, I have the nose of a bloodhound. I can smell Cinnabon. Like, as soon as I open up the mall doors, I can smell Cinnabon. Oh my gosh, there's Cinnabon. I have to go. You know, stuff like that. Like, I can smell really well. And I like having a good sense of smell. And I like having my smell. Not having it was sucked. Kind of sucked. But it's weird. It's like an opposite superpower. If Timmy fell down the sewer, right, poop, you know, dead rats and everything, and I'd be able to rescue Timmy from the well and the sewer and not be fazed by it at all. So it's kind of like a superpower in a way, not having your sense of smell. But at the same time, it's like, wow, when can I get it back? Luckily, I could still taste stuff. So it's not like people are like, oh, when you know, some people when they get it, they lose both their taste and their smell, and I can't imagine that would be really terrifying. They're like, oh my gosh, they're like, everything tastes like chalk. Like, that would be rough. Okay, because not being able to smell something is weird enough, but not being able to taste it is double. Luckily, I was able to taste everything, you know, just fine, and everything was good in that regard. First off, I don't really shout it off the rooftops, right? I kind of waited until I was already over it to just kind of talk about it. Other people like make a whole big scene. I have COVID. Oh, look at me. You know, it's like, okay, guys, like, a lot of people got COVID. A lot of people have already gotten over COVID. A lot of people don't even say that they got it, and then like months later, they're like, well, yeah, I got it, but now I'm okay, you know. Other people are like, oh yeah, I definitely got it like 3 years ago. I was like the first person to get COVID, and so like, yeah, don't worry. Like, no, you weren't, so shut up. Other people, like, I tell people to get it, they're like, oh my God, I hope I don't have it. Like, their first response is, I hope I don't have it. Yeah, you're not gonna ask at least if I'm okay at first. Like, you're not gonna say like, hey, Tremain, are you okay? And then you could say, well, we hung out together 5 days ago. I hope I don't have it. Then you could say that. All right, guys, a little bit of an etiquette. At least care a little bit about your friend before you like start going all selfish on me. And other people, like, you know, they kind of treat you like a leper. You know, like the Joker says, it's like, dude, you know, people step back or they stay away, or they're like, oh, I hope I don't have it. Or if you have really extreme underlying conditions, or you know someone that does, definitely, you know, you should definitely be wary. You should follow all the guidelines. I followed all the guidelines. I still got it. And yeah, it sucks, but I'm okay, guys, knock on wood. I'm okay. It's kind of strange because they send you like this packet, right? Like, the testing site has to inform the state that they got a positive test, right? So at our house, we got this like urgent knock, you know, this knock on the door. It's like this urgent folder from FedEx. And it's like, oh, you've been tested positive for coronavirus. Tremain Hayhoe, coolest person in the world. These are the things that you should do. And what do they recommend you to do? Drink plenty of fluids and take Tylenol. That's it. That's all they say. Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. And they're like, oh, well, if you experience if you experience more serious symptoms, call 911 and go to the hospital or whatever. It's like, okay, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Some people have more extreme cases than others. So I have a friend that I guess he got it for like a day. He said he felt bad for like a day, and then the next day he was fine. He's still quarantined for the next 10 days. One of my mom's friends got it in November and still hasn't gotten her smell back, which that's pretty scary. That's pretty bad. So look, like, guys, follow the guidelines, listen to the doctors. This has just been my personal experience. It's unique to me. Maybe people have similar experiences. Don't let it take over your life where you're super scared to leave your room, you know, because you could get it from Postmates, or you can get it from, well, okay, this is kind of doing the opposite. Like, don't be scared, but you can get it anywhere at any time. Just be careful, you know, wash your hands a bunch. Like they say, stay 6 feet away from each other. Do I feel like the whole nation needs to be knocked down? We kind of are knocked down, but we'll get up again. You know, they're never gonna keep us down. No, should we all be locked down right now? No, we shouldn't be. I think people that can work, people that are healthy, should be able to work, should be able to do their job, should be able to earn a living. But be very careful, guys. You know, my worst fear would be spreading into someone that has underlying conditions, and thank God that didn't happen. So yeah, guys, this is a tough, crazy time we're living in. We all know this. You know this. I don't have to say that. Part of me, though, is like, I'm like, okay, I got it. I was getting kind of scared of it, but no one really knows exactly what it's like until you experience it. But I'm almost glad that I've gotten it and now it's over and done with. But like, obviously, I would have preferred to have never gotten it. I'm not a huge fan of everything happening right now. Mainly movie theaters being closed. That's the biggest bummer in the world, although the drive-ins are still open. Good to know you guys and go. Bring a date, you know. Okay, anyway, I'm just saying. So, yeah, it's a weird, tough time, you guys. If you do get it, just rest up. Make sure you have someone to talk to on the phone. And if you know someone who's gotten it, please just care. Just at least act like you care. Act like, you know, just say like, hey man, I hope you're feeling better. Like, hearing those words are so much better. I had other friends that are like, oh dude, whatever, you're gonna be fine. Like, you know, and it's just like, well, what if I wasn't, you know, because everyone handles it differently. So it's like, what if I wasn't fine? What if it was more serious to me? What if there was an underlying condition that I didn't know about? And people are just like shrugging it off like it's no big deal. You know, it's like you never know. And a lot of people are more susceptible. Other people are less susceptible. You know, I've someone, like a client of mine was like, oh yeah, I got the sniffles for a day and I was fine. Like, I'm totally cool. Like, okay, you know, and she's quite a bit older than me. So be safe out there, guys. This has been my experience. If you guys have any other questions in the comments below, let me know in the comments below. Maybe I'll make a follow-up video answering these questions. And that's about it. If you guys like this video, click that like button. If you guys want to see more, subscribe so you can see more. Click that bell notification so you get alerted. I have it again. No, just kidding. Click that bell notification so you get alerted to every single time I upload a video. I know it's been a long time since I uploaded one, but I'm back with this nice little update about me having COVID. So, hey, you're welcome, you guys. You're welcome. Hopefully more fun, more silly videos to come. Thanks a lot. See you tomorrow. Tremain Hayhoe here. Follow me on Twitter @Tremain Hayhoe. Okay. Bye.